What's up? It's Jacob here with Good Music Lab, Jacob Lilly, that is. And today I am sans Ben McCrary. He had some stuff come up, and I said, you know what? We've postponed it a couple times. I'll get into it and talk about some stuff that I've been into the past couple of weeks as far as what I've been listening to, what my go-to stuff has been. Hope you're having a good week. Happy Monday morning. A little change of studio location here. I'm literally in my bedroom under the ceiling fan because it's so hot outside right now. We record normally on Sunday mornings. It's Sunday afternoon right now, and I know it's close to, if not over 100 degrees here in beautiful North Texas. So I'm inside the house in my bedroom and not in my makeshift studio in the garage because it is hotter than Hades, as my grandmother would say. So here we are. This week, I have been listening to a lot of different stuff that I normally wouldn't listen to, I guess. Just some things have popped up, and I really like Spotify. If you don't have Spotify, you should get it. I've got Spotify Premium. It's like $15 for an entire month, and you have access to just tons of music. And the cool thing I like about it is that it suggests things for you to listen to based on the other music you've been listening to. And so that's how I find a lot of new stuff. I'll go through and listen to like new releases and things that are similar to what I like or what I'm into at the time. And because I've been listening to, I think it's called Psych and Groove. I'm going to get my phone out and be all unprofessional while we're sitting here. Let me see. I should have had this out earlier, but I'm also getting texts from Ben as I'm writing this, and now I can't sign into my phone. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. I've been listening to the Cosmic Country playlist on here. I listen to a lot of Undercurrents, that playlist, and Modern Psychedelia, and then Neo Psychedelic Rock. I listen to that playlist as well. Because of those, I listen to a lot of like EDM and electronic music, lots of lo-fi chill, a lot of like Focus, like House Focus is one of the ones that I love to listen to quite a bit. But recently, I've been listening to more like dream pop, shoegaze, the whole indie alternative Radiohead sounding stuff, like the stuff that you can get made fun of on Instagram for being a musical Chad for listening to, or for being, not for listening to, but for being really snobby about it. I've put up, and I don't really do it just to be like, hey, everybody, look at what I'm listening to. It's so out there. You've probably never heard of it. I don't do it for that reason on my Instagram. I just do it because I think a song is great and it's what I'm listening to and I want to share it with other people. But that's kind of what this is. I've backed off on that because Instagram has turned in, for me personally, it's turned into this very like volatile, I don't know. I just got like a really bad feeling when I'm on Instagram as of late. And it's not for any certain, like one certain thing. It's just because I think it's just everything together, like this cocktail of just craziness that's going on and the way things are turning out, and seeing how people respond to it, people that I hold near and dear to my heart, which my love for those people won't change, but it's just kind of shocking to see. I don't have anybody specific in mind right now, but it's a little shocking to see how people respond to things and their thoughts. But as an adult, that's one of the things you go to learn, is that people have different thoughts. Anyway, I digress. I've been listening to a lot of that. The reason I put that stuff up on Instagram is because I like to share it with people. And sometimes people are like, oh man, that's pretty sick. I've never heard that. I did one this weekend, and it was from this playlist. It was a song called Lilac by, where is it? I'll put it up on, or it will be here as I talk about it. Lilac is by, where did it go? I'm just going to go back on my phone here. Wow. Ah, yes. Porridge Radio. Super hip title and band name, but it's really good. So a lot of that, a lot of what else here? Let's see. I'm just gonna go back to the the classics. Shoegaze classics is what, if you can see that, that's what I've been listening to quite a bit. Mild Orange is really good. The song One by Mild Orange. There's a song called Superbike by Jay Som or Sohm. I'm not sure how to pronounce that because these are pretty new bands to me, but it's a very relaxing, very chill genre of music. And from listening to other podcasts and talking with Ben and other people about things, I realized over the past couple of weeks, I'm into like Zen meditation, things like that. And I do quite a bit of contemplation. And one of the things that I realized listening to, I think Diplo was on Theo Von, and I listened to Theo Von when this past weekend when I'm mowing the yard. I was doing the yard mowing. This is the lawnmower. Mowing the lawn. I listened to that when I mow the lawn, depending on what day I mow the lawn. But it comes out every Monday as well. And Diplo was on there the other day. And Diplo was from the South. He's from, I think he grew up in, he's born in Mississippi, grew up in between Florida, like the Panhandle, Florida, and Nashville, I think. Anyway, he was just talking about how, his upbringing and the different music he was around, how it's made him like multi-genre and how he doesn't really have a specific genre. And I kind of feel the same way about myself and my friends. And I think it's cool. I think that, why would you dedicate your entire life to one kind of music and I only listen to this? That's not a growth mindset, as we say in education. But this has been, I just listen to what I'm into. And a lot of times if I'm mowing, I'll be listening to Memphis, buck hip hop, Juicy J and Project Pat, 8Ball and MJG, people like that. And of course, newer Memphis stuff. But and I'll go off about hip hop and how the Memphis sound has influenced music today. But that's for another podcast. I don't have enough time today. But listening to these things and listening to these different types of music, they just kind of flow along with, however I'm feeling. And I think that's what's cool about knowing about different things and being able to discover and have these different genres at your fingertips on something like Spotify or Apple Music. Even on YouTube, you can find YouTube playlists, and then the almighty, all hail the YouTube algorithm. It'll share something new with you that maybe you haven't heard of, or that other people like you or that are into that kind of stuff that they like as well. And then you'll find deep within the comments that there are people like you. I do that all the time. I'm like, oh, wow, this guy thinks the same thing about this show that I do. And it makes me feel at home. It makes me feel like I have a place in this world. But lots of the shoegaze I've been listening to quite a bit. There's probably my other favorite new playlist. Two of them. I haven't listened to this one that much because I haven't been really in the mood for it, but I've got New Tejano on the old Spotify on my playlists. But then Cosmic Country. Cosmic Country is probably my favorite that I found. I've been listening to quite a lot. I've put some stuff up on my Instagram in the past, just on my story of people that want to listen to it. And like I said, I've backed way off Instagram, man. I've probably been on there, I don't know, 3-4 times in the past month and a half, 2 months. Basically because I don't want to say something or do something stupid or seem insensitive to all the stuff going on. And I don't know, I enjoy life without it. Sometimes, a lot of the time, I enjoy my family. I enjoy just going and doing stuff without my phone. So, anyway, Ben's not here to keep me in line, man. So I'm just going to go off. Just like if you're talking to me in person, we'll just talk about all kinds of stuff and get all deep. But, Beckham and Kari, that song Golden that I put up, you've got to listen to that song. If you like relaxing and harmonies, especially if you're into the Laurel Canyon late 60s, Woodstock folky type sound. This is more like folky country, this Cosmic Country. It gives you a feeling, it gives me a feeling of far west Texas and desert nights and traveling down the desert highway, things like that. But the song Golden by Beckham and Kari is primo. Lots of Casey Musgraves. Let's see. Orville Peck. I did not like Orville Peck when I first heard it. I didn't get it. I didn't get the face mask. I didn't get the 1950s like drugstore cowboy look. I'm into that, but I didn't understand the face mask and then the kind of vibrato when he sings. But there's a couple of songs on this playlist, and just having it play in the background, they just kind of grow on you. You know when you do that, like way back in the day when I would get a CD, I'd be like, all right, I'm getting it just for this song or these 3 songs, and you'd go to song 3, that's on the CD, that's the song that you're going for, or even an album or a tape, fast forward to that song, and then you listen to it, but then you start listening to the other songs, like, it doesn't really have the same feel as this song has, but then those other songs start to grow on you. That's kind of how these have done. But let's see, Golden by Beckham and Kari. What else? Slow Burn by Casey Musgraves is great. One of the things I learned about that through that the lyrics genius, is that she was tripping on a microdose of acid on her front porch when she wrote that song. So there you go. I'm not sure why that was included, but it's interesting. So let's see. Oh, the other one that I've been listening to a lot this week especially, that you should listen to, is Honey Harper. Honey Harper's from Georgia, and he's got a very different, it's almost like an early 80s, late 70s, early 80s style to it, but it also has like electronic, like, I don't know, like electronic, like pads and things like that throughout the music. It's really good. I've listened to that a few times this week. Anyway, those are the 2 main genres that I've been listening to, and you can actually tell what I've been listening to according to the order of them on my playlist. I've got tons of playlists on here of stuff that I listen to, but like Dance Party and Iron Reagan Radio, the thrash band, Iron Reagan Radio, Extreme Metal Workout, Classic Punk, The Road to Punk Rock. Let's see, and then I have a pretty robust playlist called Classroom Groove that I play in my classroom, that just plays in the background whenever students are working, or we're working on something, or working on like projects, or if we're working silently or reading. I'll play this. Most of it has no lyrics, and we listen to that quite a bit. It's super relaxing, so if you want to relax, check that out. But then just other stuff like that, and then of course like American hardcore punk is one of my favorites. Vintage country gospel, and then I've got another one. J_LIL is my Spotify, but Honky Tonkin', that's probably my other go-to, especially like if we're out grilling on the back patio. That's a really good one that I like to listen to. So check those out. Check out those songs that I recommended, and I think that you'll enjoy them. If you're into that kind of stuff and you want to find new music to listen to, you don't just like listening to the radio all the time and hearing the same 4 songs over and over, check those out. Next week, we hope to have Ben back, and Ben and I will actually be talking about Houses of the Holy, one of my favorite Led Zeppelin albums. My favorite side being side 2, but Ben said he's got a ton to say about this album. We're going to talk about it today. That's why we didn't talk about it today, because Ben couldn't be here. So he was like, hey, let's talk about it next week, because I got a lot I want to say about it. And I do too. It's one of the albums that I was brought up on by my dad, Houses of the Holy by Led Zeppelin. We'll go into a little bit more about Led Zeppelin, about their history, and about who they are as a band. And then talk about it. We'll break the songs down. No Quarter being one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs of all time. Got a good story about when I remembered hearing that again. But we'll talk about all that next week. As for now, I hope you have an excellent week. I know a lot of school administration, people like that, you're going back to work this week. I got to start working on the school year this week, because we're supposed to be back in person. Not sure how you feel about that. I'm not going to share my thoughts on it right now. I'm kind of like, but I like my job and I want to keep it, so I'm going to do what they asked me to do. So we'll be heading back to school as of right now. As far as I know, we'll be heading back at the proposed date in August. And I've got to get some stuff planned, because apparently me and a couple of others that may or may not watch this have just been pretending that we don't have school starting in August, and just been jacking around, reading books, listening to music, playing outside, what have you. So got to get down to business this week. But if you got questions about any of this stuff, if you just want to ask me a question, feel free to do that. You can reach out to us on the the email address right here. So Good Music Lab, our email address, and feel free to reach out with any questions. If you got any requests or something that you want to hear more about, I love doing research, especially on music and music styles, genres, artists. I love origin stories. Literally this morning I'm even worse about movies. This morning I spent, I don't know how long, I looked like I was working. I'm really good at that. Don't anybody tell my bosses. But I'm really good at looking like I'm working, but I'm really like researching something. I'm such a nerd. I'm like, I'm going to look this up. I looked at filming locations on ultimatefandango.com, which if you've never seen the movie Fandango, 1985, Kevin Costner and Judd Nelson. It was Kevin Costner's first like starring role in a movie. It's about the class of 71 that from UT, the Groovers, they two of the guys get drafted and they end up going on one last fandango to go dig up Dom. And I won't spoil anything, but it takes place all out. They leave Austin that night, and then the rest of the movie takes place in far west Texas, like Marfa, Alpine, Presidio, all out in that area. So really good movie. Anyway, I spent, I don't know how long this morning looking at different locations and like pictures, and I was on Google Earth with coordinates and looking up, oh, that's where that scene was, and that's where that scene was. I'll do that too. If we're driving, I'll be like, oh, let's stop right here and let me take a picture. This is where this movie was filmed, and here's what happened, blah, blah, blah. And my wife gets sick of it. So I'll do that kind of stuff a lot. So if you got any questions about any of this stuff, you just want to ask me something, that's cool too. Feel free to either hit me up on my Instagram or hit me up on the Good Music Lab email, and I'll be glad to get back with you very quickly, within 24 hours of your question, I hope. If there's nothing else, which I don't think I could go on forever, but I won't, then I bid you adieu, and I will see you next week. Same time, same place, with none other than my esteemed colleague, Benjamin Patrick McCrary, by my side to talk about Houses of the Holy by Led Zeppelin. Until then, have a great week, and y'all watch yourselves out there. Later.